everyone, welcome to my garden. My name is Jera. I teach people how to garden and grow food. I'm a huge heirloom tomato enthusiast. I grow so many different kinds of heirloom tomatoes, and I love to do video reviews showing you, what do they look like, how do they slice, and even commentary about the flavor. Today's video is all about old Italian heirloom tomatoes. Now, I love Italian food and I make a lot of canned tomato sauce, so I like to grow a lot of different kind of paste type tomatoes. These varieties are grown all over certain parts of Italy and they're not as well known here in the United States. So I figured I would show them to you, give a little bit of a review and my opinion on these cultivars. Right here we have 4 different varieties. Let me get started with this one right here. This one is called Gigante di Rotunda. This was a pretty productive plant and it produced loads of these oblong shaped tomatoes. These are very heavy and meaty, so they are a great option for making sauce. They kind of remind me of like an extra large or fatter Roma. But anyways, let's slice into it and I'll show you what it looks like. Now here's the thing with tomatoes that are said to be really good for paste making. In general, they are not that great for fresh eating. What makes for a really good paste or sauce tomato is the fact that it doesn't have a lot of water, it's very meaty, has minimal seeds. If it's a watery tomato, then that translates into watery sauce and additional cooking time trying to evaporate that sauce. So these won't be the best for like fresh eating per se. They're really great when you cook them down, make sauces, and their flavors tend to concentrate. With that said, these will still taste much better than any grocery store tomato you'll buy. So as you can see, the Gigante di Rotunda did not disappoint. It's super meaty. I'm gonna taste it anyways just to give you guys an idea. Surprisingly, it's pretty sweet. It has a pretty decent flavor, but again, not my preference for like fresh eating per se, but I can see why this would make a really good sauce. All right, next up, we have one that reminds me even more of like the Romas. I'm probably gonna butcher the name of this one, but it's called Budalina di Castelmont. And this tomato plant was very productive. It formed lots of clusters of about these size tomatoes. All right, so that's the inside. Same thing, it's more on the drier side. I can tell for sure just looking at it. This one has more sweetness to it and a little bit more acidity. All right, next up we have one that I just thought was the coolest and cutest little tomato. This tomato is called Cesare's Canestrino or Canestrino di Lucca. Canestrino means basket, so they're given the name because of their basket-like shape. I just thought they were really pretty. And these things are heavy. All right, let's look at the inside here. Again, another really meaty tomato. I really like this one. It has sweetness. It also has a lot more juice, which isn't that great for, like I said, making sauce, but for fresh eating, this is really good. And there are some tomatoes that are dual purpose. They're good for fresh eating and for canning. I can tell you right now, I will definitely be growing this one every season. Last up here, we have these smaller tomatoes. They're a little bit bigger than cherry, but a little bit smaller than what I would consider a plum size. And I know I'm not going to say this one right. It's called Bisigano. This one's on the smaller side, but it's very productive. Usually the smaller the tomato, the more productive it is. And sometimes when you compare, by weight, the smaller tomatoes produce more by weight than the bigger ones. Pretty standard. It looks very meaty and juicy. This one is really good. Very well balanced. It has sweet and acidity, just like that nice tomato umami. I'm actually very surprised. I would say this one would be great for making sauces, but also eating fresh as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and got some insight into some rare in the United States Italian heirloom tomatoes that maybe you'd like to try growing in your garden. Make sure to check out my website because I do have tons of seeds for all sorts of things that I grow here in my garden, especially my tomatoes. So if you want to grow these same exact ones, you can find seeds for them on my website. I love every single one of these tomatoes. If you have a favorite tomato cultivar that's really good for making sauces, please let me know in the comment below because I like to try new cultivars every single season. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because I post about gardening and how to grow food on a daily basis. Thank you for watching and happy gardening.